Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Hammer Productions night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Captain Clegg, released in 1962. Captain Clegg stars Peter Cushing, Yvonne Romain, Patrick Allen, Oliver Reed, Michael Ripper, Martin Benson, and Milton Reid. Captain Clegg was directed by Peter Graham Scott. Now this one was written by the great Anthony Hines. And this one is, I previously reviewed another pirate film with the Pirates of Blood River. And it was okay. It's an okay film. It's not the greatest of pirate films. This one, in my opinion, is one of the best pirate films I've ever seen. Peter Cushing is outstanding as Captain Clegg, who is now completely undercover as Parson Bliss. Everyone thinks that Captain Clegg was hanged and killed years before. So he is pretending to be a priest, basically, here in this community. And around him, in amongst the community, is a lot of his fellow pirates that worked with him when he was calling himself Captain Clegg. Amongst them is Oliver Reed as the character of Harry, and Michael Ripper as the character of Mips. And it is just such a great film. I don't like the alternate title that this film has. Captain Clegg in the U.S. was released as Night Creatures. And that and the poster design that they did for it, it made it feel like it was a horror film, which I think that's a discredit to this film. Like I said, Peter Cushing is amazing, but he is not the only amazing performance in this film. You also have Patrick Allen playing Captain Collier. And the scenes in which Cushing and Allen act off of each other, because they are on opposite sides of the spectrum. Captain Collier is fully on the side of the British against the pirates, and doesn't really realize that Parson Bliss is Captain Clegg, but they still have this animosity throughout the film. And the performances of both Cushing and Allen working off of each other is amazing. I mean, you would expect nothing less from Peter Cushing or Patrick Allen. Patrick Allen is, in my opinion, a very underrated actor, and deserves a lot more credit. And in this film, he shows it. He is basically kind of the villain, if you will, even though there is no real villain in this. In fact, you could look at it as Captain Clegg is the villain because he's the pirate. And that, Patrick Allen's Captain Collier is the good guy. He's the hero. But the way that the character of Parson Bliss, Captain Clegg, is framed in this film, he is the one you were siding with. But you can still look at the great performance by Patrick Allen, and you can still see his side of things, and you don't look at him as just, I hate him, he's just a complete asshole. Great performances in this film. Michael Ripper's character of Mips in this film is one of the best portrayals that he's ever gotten a chance to have. his character has so many different layers, and unlike the previous Pirates film that I reviewed, in which Michael Ripper played in with Christopher Lee, of course, in Pirates of Blood River, he doesn't betray his captain. He is loyal to him from the get-go, and he stays loyal all the way through this film. And it is an amazing performance. Another great performance, of course, is Oliver Reed as Harry, and his great connection with Yvonne Romain playing Imogen. They have this great chemistry, and that's what pisses me off when watching this film, though, because you see this great chemistry that Yvonne Romain and Oliver Reed have, and you could have had that in Curse of the Werewolf, but they fucked that up on us and ended up making her his mother, where she died prior. But all promotional material showed them together. Now, I've mentioned that in the past, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse with that one. But in this one, you get to see what that relationship should have been in Curse of the Werewolf. And it is beautiful. Yvonne Romain and Oliver Reed, just like those promotional pictures for Curse of the Werewolf, they have a great chemistry in this film. They are so good together. And I just absolutely adore this film. It is so well directed by Peter Graham Scott. He does so many good story elements in this thing. The creepy ass outfits that Clegg and his gang do at night, riding around with these skull masks and outfits on these white horses that look like skeleton horses and everything. It is just cool visuals in there, and it just works so great in this film. One character in this that is very hated, and that's by design, of course, is Martin Benson's Rash. Now, he finally gets his comeuppance in the end, but there's moments where he is doing things in this film that you are just like, you just want either Peter Cushing's character or Oliver Reed's character to kill this asshole. But it doesn't happen. The person that kills him is the least you expect. It is Milton Reid's mulatto, who is the only person that can identify Captain Clegg that is not already on his side and helping him. He was banished because he tried to mess around with Captain Clegg's wife. And he was banished to this island where he was found by Patrick Allen's Captain Clegg. And he is the only one that can fully identify and has seen Peter Cushing's Captain Clegg. And yes, by the end of the film, he does expose him and everything. And unfortunately, he does end up, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen this film, go watch the film first, and then come back and finish my review. By the end of this film, the mulatto does end up killing Captain Clegg with a spear. Speaking of the mulatto and Captain Clegg, there is a moment in there that shocked the hell out of me. I had seen Peter Cushing in the Frankenstein and the Dracula movies and everything. And there's moments where he does a little bit of action and stuff, but there's nothing. Oh, and then of course when he played the Sheriff of Nottingham in Sword of Sherwood Forest. But still, there was nothing to where it showed that he was a really, really adept badass. as far as fighting and everything. And yet, in Captain Clegg, you get to see it. The mulatto comes after him to try to kill him earlier in the film, and he ends up getting in this really great fight scene. And when you watch it, you can tell that there is no stunt double in a lot of that. I mean, there might be a stunt double here and there, but most of that is Peter Cushing, in the scenes with Milton Reid, fighting in these scenes. And I was just wowed by his physical abilities in this film that I wasn't expecting. It just shows how talented Peter Cushing was as an actor. And I just love this film. So my final review for Captain Clegg from 1962. I am going to give this film a 10 out of 10. This is, like I said, one of the best pirate films ever made. But what do you think? Have you seen this film? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And, as usual, if you have enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. Well, that's it for another Hammer Productions Night. If you missed last week's Hammer Productions Night, check out the link up here to get caught up on that one. Or if you missed any of the other Hammer Productions Night, be sure and check out the playlist right here to get caught up on any of them that you have missed.